everyone, and welcome to week 9 on our horror podcast. This week we're talking about horror icons and slashers, some of the most well-known horror icons in horror. So it's going to be quite a straightforward podcast this week. We're just going to be talking about the killer's strengths, weaknesses. Obviously we know roughly some of the killer's strengths and weaknesses because it's like very obvious in the films, but some of it isn't as obvious, if that makes sense. We have left out characters like Hannibal Lecter, Billy the Puppet and things like that because I just don't see them as, it's more like the slashers that we're focusing on, and it's more like what we would pick as our iconic slashers, if that makes sense. So the slashers slash killers, I'll say that because we've we've included Jeepers Creepers, the Creeper. Now, even though he uses like an axe and sharp objects, I wouldn't class him as a slasher. I suppose he is, but he does a bit of different methods. Like, he's not like a Ghostface or a Michael Myers, is he? You know what I mean? But we've still included him. Covering Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason, Ruby help.
Art the Clown,
Leatherface,
Chucky.
what else?
Oh, I've only got 3. You've got 4.
Yeah, I've got Michael, Leatherface, the Creeper, and Jason.
Yeah, that's it. I've got Chucky,
So
Art the Clown, and Freddy Krueger.
yeah, okay. So it's like mainly the ones that you all think of. Like, when you think of horror, the first thing you do is think of like Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers.
Yeah.
So it's them kind of people that we're covering. We will do another one at some point, like doing the more not so known killers. So like the killer from My Bloody Valentine and like the Strangers and things like that. But we wanted to focus it around the killers that made people love horror. I think starting off, I'll get Ruby to talk a little bit about who have you got on your top list. This isn't our ranking, Jix.
No,
we are going to be ranking them as well.
My first one I got down is Freddy Krueger. So obviously we're going to do the strengths and then
their
weaknesses.
Yeah.
So I've got obviously dream world like manipulation. So Freddy can control the dream world, shaping it to his will and creating nightmares. He has physical harm in dreams, so inflicted in the dream world translate to real world injuries. He can also like shapeshift, so Freddy can change his appearance and even like human form in the real world. So that's like his like strengths.
Yeah.
And then weaknesses, I've only got 2 down for this one. I've got vulnerability in the real world, so Freddy's mortal and vulnerable to physical harm in the real world, losing his powers. And then fear has power source. So Freddy's power is directly related to fear and memories of his victims, meaning if people forget him or are not afraid, his powers diminish. So basically like Santa Claus.
What? What if people don't believe his bells don't jingle? No, what? No, like because of the sleigh, innit?
Yeah.
With Freddy though, it's a bit different because he kind of like toys with his victims. He said, do you know he's a I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on air. Nonce. I think they're gonna hear that. He is. He's a pedo.
What, the real actor? Or
No.
Freddy Krueger?
No, he. You know what I mean? He is. I'm not joking. Google it. It's Freddy Krueger. No, he is, because do you remember that? Because you've only really seen the newer one, didn't you?
Yeah.
You know, like with the kids, it goes back, doesn't it? And then that's why they set fire to him. Well, they didn't set fire to him. They set fire to the building because the parents kicked off because they found out that basically he was grooming him and probably something else.
Right, so
that I probably can't say.
In 2010 remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger's backstory included him being a groundskeeper who S.A., the teenager protagonist when they were a child. The original A Nightmare on Elm Street does not
No.
explicitly depict
Point it out, yeah.
Freddy
But he's still a
as
creep in the other
child
ones.
abuser, but it does present him as a figure of terror and source of nightmares.
Yeah, and
the term,
also...
hold on, wait. The term nonce is a... nonce! Is a... I don't know how you say that word. A term used to describe a person who is a pedophile or a child...
Pedophile?
Yeah.
Pedophile.
Or a child...
Yeah, probably shouldn't say that.
In the context of Freddy Krueger, blah, 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 blah.
Rude, you're not even talking into the mic, babe. So but even in the older Freddy films, he is like still creepy.
Yeah.
Like he's weird with the kids and the teenagers sort of thing. He's got a bit of a check his hard drive kind of vibe to him, you know what I mean? Yeah, so like with the dream state thing, it's like control in it because he can get into their head. I think that's what makes it stand out with Nightmare on Elm Street though, because it's almost like a bit of a psychological thing as well. Google it. Is it a psychological horror? Obviously, I know it's a slasher film, obviously, but I didn't know if it had like maybe a bit of a psychological element because obviously he gets into their dreams and like messes with them that way. That makes sense. I think like everyone likes whilst Ruby's googling as per I think everyone likes Freddy because it's like a I know I said this last week when we were talking about Final Girls, but it's like a bit of a nostalgic thing because obviously the original one is very, very old. I can't remember the year. I'm not big on Freddy films, but it's me saying very, very old. There might be someone that was literally born that year. I apologise. But obviously they're older, so I think there's like a nostalgic feel. I think whenever there's that kind of feel in horror, people automatically love it. Like with Halloween, it goes back, so people love it because of the nostalgic reasons. You know, Friday the 13th goes back to the 80s, so people love it. People love 80s horror, and I think that's what it is. Does it say it's psychological? Because
no, right now, just like there's only like questions on is it like a psychological. There's no actual answer.
I would
Thank
say
you,
it
Google.
Is. Like if I'm talking about personal opinions,
yeah,
I would say it probably is because it kind of obviously usually a psychological horror is to get into the person's head, so it's to toy with the person in their head sort of thing. But obviously it's like what you said, dream state, didn't you?
Yeah.
So obviously he goes into their dreams and fucks with them that way. Like he's not stood in front of them.
No.
He hasn't barged through the door.
No.
Kind of thing.
But obviously when they're in the dream, have you
ever heard of
he obviously when he torments him and like hurts him and stuff, that actually hurts the person in real life.
Yeah.
Not just in the dream though.
Yeah, yeah. I think as well, like, he stands out because of the way he kills. Not because of going into the dreams, but having knives for fingers.
Yeah.
It's a bit Wolverine-y, isn't it? No, but it is, isn't it? But it's just different because I don't think he uses any... Like I said, I have seen the Freddy films. I've seen the older ones and I've seen the newer one. It's not something I'll sit and put on religiously. Like, I must watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do like it. I think I've only what's the one I watched? Was it one
2010 one?
Yeah.
I don't think you've seen any of the old ones.
No, I did like it, but like you said, it's not something I would. I like it, but it's not something I would choose out of the million horror films out there. Do you know what I mean?
You're more of a like you love the low budget, don't you?
What do you mean?
You love the low budget horror.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but people like slam on low budget films.
No, they're sometimes the best ones.
Yeah, like what was it we watched the other day? Like do you remember like Tarot and
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that's really low budget. I'm on about like, do you know when we've watched like Polaroid?
Oh well, like Netflix. Yeah, because low budget.
Tarot was kind of known because it was in cinema, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm talking about I suppose you could say it was probably low budget in
it being
in comparison to like, I don't know, fucking a really big horror film.
Yeah.
But I'm on about the films that are low budget and
like
they're
Netflix.
Also, yeah, horror. And they're also not very promoted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Them kind of
Polaroid was good, yeah.
Because even like Wolf Creek and that is like, we haven't even included Mick Taylor in this because not a lot of people know Wolf Creek.
No.
But obviously he is also one of our favourite.
Yeah.
Because he is a slasher, really. but we haven't included it
Mm.
because we're talking iconic
Ones,
ones that people will think of when you think of horror.
yeah.
So,
Or like if you research it, it will come up like
with Jason,
those,
Freddy, yeah, exactly. So ones that we don't really have an interest in. It's not that I haven't got an interest in Freddy. I've actually got a massive bust of him in my horror collection. I do like him, but it's like I said, it's just not something that I've got to be in the mood for it.
Yeah.
So like if I want it on, I've got to be like, oh yeah, I want to watch that.
Yeah, with
You know
me,
what I mean?
that's the same with like Chucky. I've got to be in the right mood to go.
Yeah,
and
but that isn't something I watch
it.
at all, really.
No.
Chucky, and if I do, it's Bride of Chucky because I love Tiffany.
Yeah,
I'd love Chucky again. I have stuff in my collection of Chucky, but again, it's a bit like how I feel it more towards him than I do Freddy.
yeah,
Like I would prefer to watch a Freddy film over a Chucky film.
yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I think everyone has that kind of.
No, they have their own preference.
Yeah. You have ones that you always go back to.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like a comfort.
Yeah.
I think. But there is also ones that I've really got to be in the mood for. So the ones that are like that, we'll probably won't speak about as much as the others. But we will obviously tell you the strengths and weaknesses because that's the whole fucking point in the podcast. What else have you got next? I can't even remember what you fucking wrote down.
I've got Art the Clown and Chucky.
Oh, I do Art the Clown. I reckon you're going to be talking for England on that one, babe.
So I've got Art the Clown for mine. So for his strengths, he's got more of a creative, more tactical based. So with Art the Clown, he's not just like brutal. He uses like his environment and psychological tricks. That was a big word for me. His big word. Tricks and advantages. He also taunts his victims and enjoys a show of his kills. So like I don't if you have seen it, he'll like torture them, but then because he's a mime, he's got to like emphasize on what his actions are, sort of thing. So
I think
he's
it
like
just gives it a creepy element,
yeah,
so
like
he's smiling constantly.
Yeah, so like I don't know, with the first one, obviously when he hangs
Dawn, Catherine?
Yeah, Dawn.
No, real name.
No, Catherine's her real name. Dawn's the character.
That's it, yeah.
See, he hangs her upside down, and then he gets like jittery, and then he rubs his hands together. Yeah, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm acting out.
You just made a very fucking weird noise in the mic. That's all they know you've done. They can't see you doing it.
But he gets all like jittery, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's almost like he gets a bit of a hard on, isn't it? Don't you think?
Or like with with the second one, when he puts the bleach and salt and rubs it in. What's that? I can't remember. I don't really remember the.
What's her name? Ali?
Ali. No, I think it is.
It is Ali.
Yeah. Obviously, he like cuts like Ali's skin up.
Yeah.
And then he goes to go and get bleach, and then he like I said, he goes like he jumps around, he's like really jittering and stuff. And then he pours it all over her. And then as he's pouring it, he's like making laughing like faces because he doesn't speak.
Well, it's amusing him, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think that's what makes him stand out.
He pours it, and then he's like, imagine like laughing but silent.
Yeah,
that's what he does. And then he goes to grab the salt and rubs it in her.
Sorry. It's like he's fucking prepping his beef for Sunday roast, isn't it? The way he rubs it on her.
But you get what I mean. He like enjoys it. Sicko.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing. Like,
yeah,
I think I know this is going to sound really fucking obvious what I'm about to say, but each killer that wasn't English. Each killer will stand out differently. Yeah. So like, obviously they all have different methods. They all have different like facial expressions. Some of them have no facial expressions. No. Some of them talk, some of them don't. Yeah. And as well with Art the Clown, he uses like different weapons. Because obviously you got like with Michael Myers, he just uses a knife. Or his hand. Yeah. Or you got who else? Like with Freddy, he just uses his hands, claws. What would you call it? A fucking cat. Knives. He's got knives for fingers. Yeah. Knives. Oh, I said that really weird. Knife. He just uses those. But you get him a point. Whereas Art the Clown, if he sees a weapon, he will grab whatever's
it.
in front of him, he will use.
If he has a blood. Malfunction then. I can get my words out of my mouth. If he has a bloody, I don't know, an iPad in front of him and you'll chuck it around someone's head. Get on point.
Fair play to him, though.
But yeah, Art is exceptionally skilled at using variety of
Do you reckon it's on his CV?
including cleavers, chainsaws, and other tools. He also shown to be capable of using his environment as a weapon. It's basically what I just said.
Yeah.
But yeah, so do you want?
And I think that's what actually really makes him stand out. Because
Yeah,
if you think
you
about
would
it,
use anything in sight, like with the salt and bleach.
Yeah.
He went to go find anything to use.
it's not until I actually am sitting there thinking most of the killers use one or two weapons. Like,
yeah,
they'll either be physical with their hands.
like with Ghostface, it's a knife or a gun.
Yeah, but mainly a
knife.
It was
Yeah,
only up until, is it the sixth one, isn't it?
I don't know.
And I was actually quite shook seeing Ghostface with a fucking gun. That was weird. Because he's known for his knife,
Yeah.
isn't he? You know what I mean? That sounded like a euphemism, but I promise it wasn't.
Moving on to the weaknesses of Ghostface. So,
Ghostface?
I mean,
We're not there yet, baby.
oh, okay. So his taunting. So when Art enjoys the like actions of his like tauntings and stuff, sometimes they're a little bit the same ish. He always
What do you mean?
as in like he always ties them up and then taunts them in some way. Like first one, he bloody ties the girl upside down,
Oh yeah, because I suppose in the third one they tie Sienna to the chair.
exactly. So like with in the first one, Dawn gets hung upside down, like she's tied up, and then the other girl gets tied up in the chair.
Yeah.
And then in the second one, can't remember. Oh yeah, Ali. She was, what's the word? She was on the bed. I think, was she tied up
she
or
was
not?
cornered.
Yeah.
So either way, he gets them in a really vulnerable
Yeah. Position. Yeah.
No. No, that's not the word. No, it gets them in a really vulnerable state.
Yeah.
They're either pinned down, so they not pinned down, but tied down, so they can't physically get out of it.
And then he taunts him and stuff. So
or
sometimes,
they're cornered.
so his kills are different with each person, but they're also a little bit the same of how he goes about doing it.
Well, I think they're all sick, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're not basic kills.
Yeah. But he always ends up obviously tying him up or pinning him to a corner, and then he will do the whatever he wants to do. But all of his kills have been different.
Yeah.
But it's the way he goes about starting it. Does that
They've
make
all been
sense?
disgusting.
Yeah.
They're not basic kills that are just like, yeah, I'll stab you and you're dead.
Yeah.
You
so
know what I mean?
With the weaknesses, it allows the victims to see the patterns and potentially anticipate his attacks. So like with Sienna, she will know now like how his tactics will work trying to like kill her.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, well actually.
Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like with him,
so she
it
can learn.
change though. Because of what you said, because he can use anything in front of him. It's not like they've got like with Leatherface, obviously we're not speaking about that yet, we're going to get onto that, but just as an example, with Leatherface, 9 times out of 10, if you know he's coming, it's because you'll hear his chainsaw.
Yeah. So as well though, because like, lack of stealth, so Art's open demeanour and tendencies to show off and make it easier for his victims to spot him and potentially escape. So see, in the first
true,
one,
actually.
so like he went to go find
out a bit, doesn't he?
So he went to go find Vicky in the first one.
Yeah.
And then he ended up bloody with a tricycle. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
It was on like a kid's bike, and it was like, remember that?
Yeah.
And then he was just like riding around in circles and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, but I also...
So it gives him a chance to bloody escape because he's being an idiot and not focusing
it's almost
on...
like he takes his time with his kills because he knows he's going to get them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He knows eventually he's going to catch them, so he's almost like, yeah, I'll fuck about for a bit, and then when the timing's right, I'll get them. You know, it's almost a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you remember how weird the first one was? I know we've done Terrifier. I forgot to mention in that podcast. Remember, if it is the first one, where he fucking where he takes the oh fuck my life.
What, the woman's chest?
And he's wearing it and her hair, and he's like prancing
Do you know
around.
what I think someone said on Facebook, Joe, like the Forever Horror Chat.
Yeah.
I think someone said that they're going to try and make that costume.
What? That's fucking weird. That's fucking strange,
vulnerability to supernatural forces. So while Art is resilient, some forces like those that brought him back from the dead may be able to affect him. So if they can bring him back to the dead, they can surely take him out of it.
What do you mean?
As in, like, do you know like the little girl?
Yeah.
She's like the one. She's like the oh, what did I say last time? I can't remember. But she's like this.
Sorry.
Sorry. But no, she's like the one who brought Art back to life. Brought Art back to life. Yeah. So she has the power to just take him out of it. So he's only alive because
I get ya.
The supernatural thing is keeping him there.
Yes. I never thought of it like that. You've just blown my mind.
So every time he gets killed, he gets brought back to life by this supernatural
whatever's there at the time. Yeah.
So he gets brung back.
You've said bringed. You've said bringed, brunged, but not brought. Bring brunged. Bring brunged. What's that so hard for you to say?
Brought him back, and obviously they can take him out of it. So,
what is it your mum says? Well, not your mum specifically, but mums say,
if I can bring you in this world, I can take you out of it.
Yeah, that's probably what she says.
And then I always say, well, I didn't choose to be bringed in this world.
No.
No, I normally just say it wasn't my choice.
Real. It's funny how it's not until like we sit and do these kind of podcasts where things really start to stand out. Like, I actually never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wouldn't you say that one of his weaknesses as well, if you think about it on a real level here, like, I don't know, I'm speaking like I'm in the fucking House of Commons, that his weakness is Sienna? To a degree, because obviously she's the only one that's got away. It's probably like with any killer and a final girl.
Yeah, but with Sienna, she gains a supernatural like power from her sword. Because
probably
obviously
not even that funny, but we're just immature.
In the second one, when Art the Clown stabs her, some of the supernatural some of the supernatural like what's the word?
Oh, shit.
Like Sienna's body like sucks all that up basically. Yeah,
pack it in.
I don't know what else to say. It
absorbs
it then.
Yeah.
So then she's kind of becomes a bit supernatural. Like in the third one, when her hands get cut by the sword because she decides to grab the sharp end and give the blunt end to the cousin or whatever that she hasn't even probably seen before, other than in that film.
Oh yeah, when she's trying to pull her up.
Yeah, and she pulls her up with the blade.
Yeah,
and she's
stupid.
And then, but in the second one, she goes to buddy her brother and goes, "Don't touch that, it's sharp." Yeah, yeah. She buddy grabs it with full force, but then at the end of the movie, her hands are like healed up with no scars or anything.
Yeah,
because she has this supernatural thing. So her and Art have this supernatural.
Did you say R? So
they're kind of like head to head a little bit.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say
no, but I think it's just like that with any final girl and a killer, because it's a bit like it with we're going to talk about it again. I know I go to other things, but I'm trying to compare. It's a bit like it with Michael Myers and Laurie, isn't it? Really,
yeah, but that's
because Laurie's Michael's weakness because she keeps getting away from him.
Yeah, but also aren't they're siblings? So aren't they?
Well, that's kind in Halloween 2 they say that, and I think they are.
Yeah,
but I've heard different things. I don't actually fully know, but I think because of what they say in Halloween 2.
Yeah.
When they're talking about talking to Dr. Loomis about it, innit?
Yeah. But obviously with and Sienna, we don't actually know yet if there's any link between the two. See, like we said, we're hoping that with Terrifier 4...
Apparently in the first 15 minutes we're going to hear his backstory.
Yeah, so hopefully, like we said when we did the podcast, that Terrifier 4 actually gives us answers.
Yeah. Well, it's not even answers, is it? It's just some kind of like...
No, as
story.
in, like, where did the dad actually go? Is he alive still? Like, do you remember when I was giving all those...
circle?
Yeah, like, all those theories I was spitballing.
You were spitballing them.
Yeah. Okay, so with Chucky, his strengths are literally barely nothing. But he's got lifting ability, so because he was a human, despite his size, he has the strength to overpower an adult male. His durability is a street level, can survive being stabbed, shot, or set on fire. Immortal and a body control makes him difficult to truly kill. It's kind of like Michael Myers, isn't it? But a doll form. Because Chucky can survive being stabbed, shot, and set on fire.
Yeah, but that's like most of the killers, though. They all come fucking back, don't they?
You gotta shoot him in the head.
Not always. Only with Ghostface, because he's an actual human. She.
The original version of Chucky demonstrates a number of powers due to his like mystical backstory, when the most obvious being his command of voodoo magic. Yeah. Chucky is also retains human level strength and speed, and is seemingly unable to permanently die despite taking a ton of punishment over the course of the series.
Yeah, to be honest, like, it's weird because I know you probably think about me, what do you actually watch then if you're a horror fan? But I'm not massive on Chucky either. But I'm not gonna. I'd like him.
Yeah,
I've got him in my collection, and I do like the films, but it's not something that I will sit and put on.
Yeah,
like, I will, but again, I've got to be in the mood.
Yeah,
it's a weird one, and I'm also like it with Friday the 13th, so just a pre-warning. But I do like Friday the 13th. But I actually, the thing is, people probably going to battle me for it. I love 80s horror, but some of it I prefer new. So like, people hate the Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 one, but I really like it.
Yeah,
I think it's just because it's so different.
It's different,
but they've got to understand that it's not meant to be the same. It's like the Texas Chainsaw 3D. People like slag that off, but it was meant to be different. If that makes sense. So yeah, what I'm getting at, you're probably thinking, why the fuck are you talking about that? Is just because I'm a horror fan doesn't mean I'm gonna know every little bit of detail about every horror thing. That annoys me.
Yeah, I know.
Because people think you do, and it's like, well, no, I have my preferences. Like, I don't really know about Chucky.
No.
I think he's cool, and I think the idea around him's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's something that I would want to get more into. But sometimes it's just like...
actually trying to get into it.
I just can't take him seriously. I think that's part of what it is, because no horror scares me. Like, no killers scare me. Nothing like that bothers me at all. But with Michael, there's an eerie feeling. With Freddy, I wouldn't say it's an eerie feeling, but there's like a... Yeah, I can understand what that would shit you up kind of thing if that was to happen to someone. But with Chucky, I like I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, I would boot Chucky across the room. Like, he doesn't bother me. And then you're probably thinking, yeah, but would you if it actually happened? I'd probably scream first and think, what the fuck? But it wouldn't bother me having that trying to kill me.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
The same thing about Annabelle as well.
Yeah, but Annabelle's slightly different because she can use her fucking mind powers and mind fuck you. No, but she can. With him,
she's bloody having a vacation at the moment.
She's on tour.
So his weaknesses are
kicked in the head.
Yeah. The longer he inhabits the doll, the more the doll starts to take on his human characteristics. Meaning that he can be wounded like a regular person. His other downfalls is his heart, not because he's secretly a softie, but because a bullet
Are you stuck? Are you on like
They
malfunctioning?
can kill him. I couldn't get my words out there.
Why did you do an accent?
Like I said, it was a bit short and sweet for Chucky because I couldn't care about the man.
No, but I think again, like, there's no other slasher like him. So obviously there's not gonna be, because people aren't gonna create something and then someone else is gonna create. But then that does happen. Like, look at that. I think it was an actual real thing though. That Robert doll, is that a real thing? Did that actually happen?
I don't know.
But it was almost like Annabelle come out, and then there was a male version. I don't know. Maybe it is a real thing. I've no idea.
But that Robert doll is in bloody Toy Story.
No, that's the one. It looks like the one from Goosebumps. Go behind my photo frame. Go behind my Sienna Shaw photo frame. Sorry, guys. Like, Rube, can you not rub your ass cheek on my foot? Because that's ooh. Go behind my photo frame.
Yeah.
Look at my Goosebumps book. No, not that one. This is like me when I wake up. No, not that one neither. The big bastard. Yeah, that looks like the one from Toy Story, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Goosebumps Slappies.
Yeah, it's Slappy, isn't it?
Slappy's Tale of Horror.
Yeah, I do fucking collect Goosebumps books, alright? I'm 5.
To chill you to the bone.
That's what got me into fucking, I used to love Goosebumps. Oh.
Does it give you goosebumps?
What?
So does it give you goosebumps?
It does give me goosebumps. It gives me nipple lamps. Nipple lamps? No, nipple bumps. Nipple lamps. Right. But yeah, so the reason I brought that up is because it's almost like sometimes with horror, obviously people get ideas from others.
Yeah, but what about bloody Jigsaw? That's a doll, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's been about years. 2004, I think the first one was. That's different. And again, that's a completely different style of horror.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is sometimes what will happen is people will take the idea. They'll take the idea from the ones that are most well known and try to do like a Diet Coke version. Does that make sense? A bit like that in A Violent Nature. That was giving kind of like Friday the 13th vibes.
Yeah.
But it was so shit. Don't even talk to me about it. What have you brought it up for?
You brought it up.
No, but yeah.
No, but
yeah, but. So that's what I'm getting at. Sometimes they'll try and take a idea, make it their own, but it doesn't feel like anyone's done that with Chucky. All these other iconic killers, because they know they couldn't touch what they've already built with them. So we haven't actually, because obviously we Googled, I'm not going to lie, we Googled the strengths and weaknesses, because it's not something, again, that we know from the top of our head. With Ghostface, we didn't really Google it because we spoke and we figured surely it's different, because obviously each time with a Ghostface killer, they're different people. So obviously Ghostface does have, as a whole, I suppose, strengths and weaknesses. But each Ghostface does it differently, but it's the same.
Yeah. They have the same...
like, motive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always a motive to why...
And the way they kill, really.
Yeah.
Like, with obviously, 9 times out of 10, it's just with a knife. But the point I'm trying to make is... obviously, because this isn't a superhuman or something supernatural with Ghostface, it is literally just an ordinary person behind a mask each time. The strengths and weaknesses would surely be different because each person's different.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, some Ghostface may be more physical than others, stronger than others. But I think as a whole, with Ghostface, he's tactical, and he also likes to like mind fuck people. What I mean by that? You're looking at me like I'm demented.
No, because you said it and you just stared at me like...
What after I said mind fuck? But what I'm saying is he knows, or she, he, they, whatever.
He what went Hawaii.
Can obviously toy.
Plug and play. Sorry, I was reading the back of that.
That doesn't sound right, what you just said.
Plug and play.
Pardon. The only thing that stays the same with Ghostface, that's what would have been better to say, is the fact that he likes teasing them.
Yeah.
Or she, or whoever.
Well, over the phone.
Yeah, like asking the questions.
That stays the same.
Every scream, num tongue time. 9 times out of 10, it's Ghostface asking questions, like doing a bit of a trivia.
Yeah. I think obviously they've all done that because obviously the original.
It's to create fear on the victim,
Yeah.
so they're like fucking just shitting themselves. That's what it is. Because there's almost like they almost think maybe that whoever's ringing them is bluffing.
Yeah.
Because if someone rung you up and went, I'm outside your house, you go, no, fucking not. So it's almost to create a bit of like, well, are you outside? But every Ghostface does that.
Yeah.
So that's what stays the same. But on a physical scale, it would differ.
Yeah.
Because obviously each Ghostface is
a different killer.
What? Each Ghostface is a different killer.
Mm.
So that's why we didn't really write anything down. So if anyone has any, like, I don't know, I'd say ideas. It's not an idea, is it? But if anyone has any input on that, with Ghostface, do let us know, because I think that's quite a tricky one to talk about. Because even like with Michael Myers, even though it stays the same, it's technically still the same person each time. But it's not like that with him.
No.
Do you get what I'm trying to... It's really hard to explain it, unless... I've never really thought of it like that until we spoke about it earlier. Like
with, I don't know... Like with Art the Clown, there's only one Art the Clown and
there's
the
only
rest.
one Michael Myers. There's only one... Forget actors. We're not talking actors.
Not actors, but like the actual character. There's only been one Art the Clown. There's only been one Jason. There's only been one Michael, one Freddy, etc. Whereas with Ghostface, there's bloody been...
They're just normal people, aren't they? That's what I'm getting at. Obviously,
in each film.
I just want to really reiterate, I'm not talking about actors. Obviously, I'm aware that there's been
different
other
Michael
people
Myers
that have played Michael Myers, other people have played Freddy. I'm on about the actual character itself has remained the same, and it isn't just an ordinary person.
Yeah.
Beep beep. That's cap cut. Ordinary person behind a mask.
Yeah.
It's some fucking freak. Freaky freak.
Who does it for a living.
Yeah. Does it for a living.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers, obviously. It was quite hard with him because he hasn't really got any weaknesses as such, I don't think. It literally says here, I did Google this, all right? We've Googled all of it because it's not something you just know off the top of your head, is it? Like I said earlier, it's something that you have a kind of idea around if you're into that slasher or killer, but it's not something that you just have knowledge of in your head, if that makes sense. So it says the Creeper in the Jeepers Creepers films is a very strong and durable creature with seemingly no weaknesses. He's described as indestructible, able to survive even nuclear explosions. He has immense strength, capable of effortlessly lifting and crushing opponents. So he's like a fucking tank, basically. Says that he is powerful, tough, and that he can heal by consuming body parts. Because obviously, as we know, he feeds for 23 days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every 23 years. Yeah. So he has to obviously eat people to be able to regenerate is the word I was looking for. Also, another strength of the Creeper is obviously, I'd say it's a bit of a strength and a weakness, is the fear factor kind of thing, because obviously he kills based on fear. I know all killers kind of do, they get like a kick out of it, but this is a different aspect because he literally can sniff them out based on their fear. That's why, is it the first one where he's like sniffing and licking and doing all sorts of weird shit to the head, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is it the first one?
I'm not too sure. I know he does it though. But...
Yeah, I think so anyway. Well, he does that. He literally will sniff it and lick it and stick his tongue in it. I don't know. A bit of everything. That could also, whilst it works in a positive way in regards to his strength, because that helps him find his victims, it could also be a bad thing because if someone doesn't fear him, which is very unlikely because you would shit your pants if that like come in front of you, wouldn't you really? Then obviously he's not as interested. He gets more of a kick out of them being scared, and that's what attracts him to the victims. It says that some theories suggest that standing up to him and not being afraid could potentially harm or destroy him. So what I just basically said, if people don't fear him,
Sorry.
if people don't fear him, that could weaken him in that way. Going back to him being damaged, it is possible that he can be damaged, but dismembering him would be difficult because he just regenerates every 23 years.
Yeah.
So it's like no matter what you do to him, he just fucking comes back, basically. So I suppose that kind of suggests that he is immortal because he just comes back no matter what's been done to him, because he has taken a few like hits and that in the films.
Yeah.
I can't remember, there was a scene, I can't remember exactly. The first one I know really well, but some of it is like, again, it's not, it just annoys me. Like I'm sidetracking now. Again, we said about horror earlier. Horror. We said about horror earlier, like saying that because we're horror fans, people expect us to be into every like film.
Yeah.
It's also the same with this. Like I could watch a film, and we said this in the Conjuring podcast because we were like, I can't really remember that bit. It's really bad, really. But no matter how many times I've seen a film, unless it's like Halloween, or even then, if someone points something out to me and I haven't seen it, I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't see that bit.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But no matter how many times I could watch a film, I would never be able to sit there and relate every single detail in a film just because I'm a horror fan.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that with this. I've seen Jeepers Creepers an unhealthy amount of times. It was literally my first horror, but I wouldn't be able to sit there and relay every little detail. But I know that he does get damaged quite a lot in it, but he does come back. So that would make him immortal, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
He just has to eat. What was it? Because you got it up, didn't you, and was looking into it. What was the saying? They say it in the film. Every 23 days. No. Get it up. I look like an absolute idiot. There's like a very classic line in Jeepers Creepers about him. They say it a few times, I think. And it's like a classic line, really.
Every 23rd spring for 23 days,
it gets to eat. Yeah, that's it. That's the fucking one. That's what I was thinking. So yeah, I don't know why I can't remember why I got to Google that now. It's been so long. It's been 84 years. It also says that Dan in the second movie, I do like that one. It's when they're on the school bus. You have seen it.
What's that?
You've seen them all. He gains some understanding of the creeper's nature after touching his hand, which may also be a way to weaken him as well.
For touching his hand.
Apparently so, that's what it says here. But I'm going to assume that's because he's brave enough to touch his hand. No, you're looking at me like I'm a weirdo. No, hear me out, right?
Yeah.
If you were literally shit scared of something so much, you wouldn't want to touch it, would you?
Yeah.
You wouldn't even want to fucking look at it. So what I'm saying is the fact that this might not be the reason, I might get like corrected in the comments. I'm going to assume that means, why is my pinky out holding the mic? All my fingers. I'm going to assume that means that because Dan didn't fear him as much, he was able to touch him, which would then, not inappropriately, which would then weaken the creeper. Does that make sense? Probably fucking not. Please tell me it does. Well, anyway.
So he gets weakened by someone touching him.
No, it's the thought behind it, isn't it? Yeah. So imagine the Jeepers Creepers. The Jeepers Creepers. Imagine the creeper was here right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Any normal person would be like, oh my fucking God.
What's up, creep?
Any normal person wouldn't want to touch him. Wouldn't even want to fucking breathe in his fucking direction, yeah?
Yeah.
So the fact that Danny boy put his hand on him shows that he's not as scared.
I think he's got a bit of the drapes for the creeps.
I'm not on about like because he's physically touched him. I gotta stop saying that. I'm on about because the mindset behind it of, wow, I fucking touched you, mofo. I'm gonna stop now. I get what I mean.
Yeah, I do get what you mean.
Okay. Your eyes are gonna come out. So with the creeper, I think he's got, obviously I know we're not talking about their kills really, we're talking about their strengths, weaknesses, them as a killer, so I kind of suppose we are
as a person.
But he's got some really great kills, and I want to say it's underrated, but it's not. Like, everyone loves Jeepers Creepers, but it's just, I feel like it could have been bigger. Maybe it is, I don't know, but I don't think it is it?
No.
Like, everyone's seen it, everyone knows about it, everyone thinks it's probably really good, but
yeah, but you speak. But you get these people that, like, you really love Halloween, but then it could be the complete opposite, and someone could really, really love Jeepers Creepers, but not like Halloween as much.
No, but with Halloween, everyone knows Halloween. Like,
I know they obviously everyone knows it because it's a big one, but what I mean is, like, people could really, really love Jeepers Creepers. Like, as in, say me, I don't like Jeepers Creepers that much, but theory wise, I could really, really love Jeepers Creepers, but not as Halloween as much. I could be the complete opposite to you. Do you get what I mean?
I get your drift.
But I don't like Jeepers Creepers. Just, well, I like it a little bit, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not something you go to, is it?
No.
I think there's a lot. Like, I think we should actually do a bit of a podcast on this. Just quickly jumping. About, like, horrors that people maybe expect us to like, but we don't go a lot on.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, we were sad about Chucky earlier. I love the idea. I love the thought of it. But it's just not something that I choose to put on. It's not because I don't like it.
I've tried to get into it.
I will sit and watch it.
Yeah, I've tried to get into it because everyone's raves about it. But
I just don't think it's worth as much hype as it gets. I don't know, but then again, that's just preference to me as a horror fanatic. Moving on, there's not much to say about him because he hasn't got many weaknesses. His weakness is if someone wasn't to fear him. I would say we've got Leatherface to speak about, Jason and Michael. I'm gonna leave I'm gonna leave Michael till last because he's my favourite. He's my favourite. So next we've got Jason. I really love Jason as a horror character. I think he's an absolute fucking beast of a character. He looks great. There's some real great kills in the films. I absolutely love Freddy vs. Jason. So if we're not talking about the OG Friday the 13th right now, me on a personal level, I just love, it's in like my top 10 horror movies, maybe even my top 5 to be fair. But it's not, Friday the 13th isn't, again, something I would choose to put on. I don't know, I'm probably going to get shot, but it's not because I don't like it. I love Jason. I think he's a really great character. It's just, I think you just get comfortable.
Yeah.
I think that's what you really like. Yeah. And I did watch him when I was younger. Obviously, they've been about years.
We watched him the other day, didn't we?
Yeah, we watched the first one the other day. And I really like the first one. I think it
just gets a bit long to get into it.
Yeah, it just takes a while to get into the first one. And I just feel because obviously some 80s horror is cringy, but worth the cringe.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like with that, it's just all out cringe, which I do like. Yeah. I don't know. I have a weird feeling towards Friday the 13th. I want to be more into it, but I will never. I've said this before. I will never force myself to be into something. You know.
When I was watching it the other day, I tried to keep watching it, but then because nothing was really happening,
you felt yourself drifting away from it. Yeah, that's what I do.
Nothing was happening as quick as I want it to. Like with the like newest, like other horror films.
Yeah, but I think that just shows the progression of horror over the years because 9 times out of 10 now.
Violent Nature?
Oh, no, that ain't even funny. Stop bringing that up. I'm going to put you in the bin in a minute. I fucking hate that film. I hate that more than The Shining. I said it now. I do. It's so shit.
So would you sit there and watch The Shining?
If I had to pick out of the Inner Violent Nature and The Shining all day long, I'd watch The Shining. But I'd probably throw up afterwards. Just hate it. It's so shit. Anyway, I literally had somebody follow me, and they're probably going to see this, and I'm really sorry if you have, on Instagram, and he was just literally, or she was like a Shining like fan.
Yeah.
And the whole Instagram is dedicated to The Shining, and I didn't follow him back. They followed me. I thought, fuck off. So it says here that Jason possesses significant strengths such as superhuman strength and durability, as well as weaknesses like being vulnerable to certain types of attacks and his slow movement speed. It says that his superhuman strength is Jason can rip arms off, punch through people, and even punch heads off, demonstrating immense physical power. So I would like to see him up against Michael Myers. That would be good.
Yeah.
So they've done Freddy versus Jason, but I think that seeing...
I think they should just do a series of like Freddy versus Jason.
All different ones, yeah.
Jason versus Michael.
I think Jason would beat Michael though, because I don't want to admit it, but I think he probably would.
Let's say if there was no weapons,
because he's just a massive tank, and
let's say if there was no weapons involved, and it was just using their hands.
Yeah, I don't think Michael would win. I think Jason would, because even though he's superhuman, Michael, and he has like them powers, he's not as superhuman as Jason. I don't think. I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? Anyway, we'll come back to Michael in a minute, because I could literally go off on one talking about him and Halloween. I could, honestly. It's ridiculous. So he has survived. This is Jason, by the way, guys. That he has survived numerous injuries that would kill a normal human. So obviously he regenerates as well. And it says that he exhibits limited regeneration abilities, allowing him to recover from injuries that would normally be fatal. And some versions of Jason have abilities like stalking, which allows them to remain hidden and undetected for longer periods. So he obviously lurks before he does his kills. In regards to his weaknesses, it says, while durable, Jason is vulnerable to decapitation. I can't fucking say that. Getting his head chopped off, explosions, and attacks that destroy his heart. He also has slow movement speed. He basically walks like a big oaf. Doesn't he, though? He walks like a proper troll. Which can obviously be outsmarted by quicker and more agile victims. So they can outrun him and shit like that. Fuck me, I just saw your tonsils. She's just done the biggest yawn. It was like... just saw into the bloody black hole. What the frick frog? It also says some versions of Jason, like part 9, have fewer traps. Part 9, limiting their ability to control objectives. And certain versions of Jason lack the ability to run, making it difficult, also in part 9, for them to pursue victims. So yeah, he has like more weaknesses than most killers, I'd say, because obviously he can't have damage. What was it I said? Yeah, because obviously he is not good near explosions, and attacks that destroy his heart are also a weakness to him as well, and any kind of decapitation. I've already said it, I don't know why I'm saying it again. Yeah, it's not that I don't like Jason. Like I said earlier, I know I said this about Chucky as well, but I love the idea around him. I think he's a classic. He looks fucking amazing. Like, I think that is, other than Michael Myers, I think that is probably the first character people would think of when they think of horror, is Jason. And it's not that I don't want to get into it, or that I'd force myself to get into it. It's just, like you said, and I completely get where you're coming from. Yeah. I hadn't watched the first Friday the 13th in a while, until we watched it the other day. Yeah. And I forgot how, like, long-winded it was. Yeah. It was pretty... I love the ending of it. I think it's a really good ending on the first one, but it's just a very big build up.
Yeah, exactly.
And I get that, and I suppose it's kind of the same with Halloween, because you don't actually see Michael doing a lot of killing in the first Halloween. And it wasn't until it was pointed out to me and I rewatched, and I was like, actually no, he's actually just sort of lurking. Yeah. And then there's a massive thing at the end with Laurie Strode. So maybe that's just how horror was back then. Whereas, like you said, nowadays, a lot goes down throughout the film. Yeah. There's multiple kill scenes.
Or it's a shorter
scene. Yeah. It's not like a massive showdown kind of thing, but it's cut up into little... Yeah.
Or like...
That's how it seems, doesn't it?
Or when you have your first bit, and obviously, like you said, where they're lurking, and you see, like, the backstory or whatever. Yeah. Obviously, that's what's shorter in the newer ones. So let's say with Terrifier, they've got that scene of when they're what's it called, like their car's broken down, so they have some pizza and whatever, and then
Luna, get away. Sorry, my pussycat is near my Michael Myers bust. Get away. Sorry, continue.
Anyway, so obviously it's very short, so like it's literally the car breaks down, the guy has some pizza, and then he's there. Yeah. Already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
happens so quick.
Yeah. Whereas a lot of the older horrors, it feels like yeah, you have the odd kill throughout it or whatever.
Yeah.
But it feels like, obviously in Halloween there was a few kills before the showdown with Laurie.
But they want to tell a story and then add in a few like kills.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels different.
So they tell you a lot more information about the character or people, whatever, what happens in
Especially if it's the first film, they have to do that, don't they? I suppose.
But even out of any of them, there's so many talking scenes.
Yeah, I know.
And not killing.
I don't think you have that as much in Halloween, because there is quite a few kill scenes in the first one, but you just don't see him as much as maybe you do in like the newer ones. That's how it feels. It may not be like that at all.
Yeah.
But it's just how it comes across. Like newer horrors, there is more kill scenes and more gore and more. You get what I'm trying to say? Whereas in the older ones, that you say, it sort of drags out. And I think that's what I don't want to say I didn't like about Friday the 13th, because I don't not like it. Yeah. It's just, I want to get into slow. It. It's just slow, and maybe the more I stick with it, the more I'll get into it. But yeah, like I said, I love him as a character. I think he's a great slasher. I really do. So next we also have one of my favourites, Leatherface. I fucking love Leatherface. Other than Jeepers Creepers, the film was probably one of my first horrors. I just think it's fucking great. I love Texas Chainsaw so much. So Leatherface is known for his terrifying abilities. He possesses significant strengths and weaknesses that contribute to his portrayal as a slasher. He's incredibly strong, durable and mobile, effectively using a chainsaw as his primary weapon. However, he also considered a relatively slow character. He is considered, a relatively slow character with predictable moments. I would say that he is quite predictable, isn't he? Yeah. Making him vulnerable in certain situations. And I would also say as well, he doesn't really, apart from when he's chasing people out the house and things like that, because obviously when Sally gets out, he chases her out of the house. But he doesn't actually actively go out and look for people. No. People come to him. Yeah. It's usually like the family will hunt these people down. Yeah. For him to kill. Yeah. So I think that's what makes Texas Chainsaw stand out, because obviously with a lot of other killers,
it's like his family.
Exactly, the family are involved. It's a very fucked up situation, really, as well, because they're like all kind of inbred and shit. I think something like that. Not inbred, probably like wrong turn as such, but they're all a bit hillbilly. And like you say, they're all involved, so that completely stands out. Yeah.
Whereas normally the killers are essentially them singular.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're just, whereas the family assists, so they'll go and get the victims
other than
for him
with
to kill.
Jason, her mum.
Yeah, Pamela Voorhees. Yeah. Which technically she is the killer. Yeah. In Friday the 13th, which is weird. But yeah, so it's kind of, it's really strange, and I don't want this to sound really stupid and dopey of me and obvious, but each horror has a certain thing that makes it stand out. Yeah. I know you probably think, well, yeah, fucking obviously. That's why they're different franchises and films and characters. But it's not until you sit here and you're like, fuck me, yeah, that is very different. Like, it ain't till I sat there and thought, Leatherface doesn't actively go hunting. No. He hunts in his area. Yeah. Like, he knows the house well. He knows the outside of the house well. Yeah. So that's where he will hunt for his victims. If they run away, he will chase them down. If he needed to go out into the road because they've got out, he'll run out, but he doesn't actively hunt.
What was the one that they went into?
The fair?
It the fair?
Yeah, that's Texas Chainsaw 3D, the one that everyone slags off. Yeah, but that's because he was chasing.
Yeah, is that the one with the girl with the black hair? Yeah, yeah, that's the one I watched.
It's the cousin, isn't it? I really like that one. People bash it, but I really like that.
Aren't they all like copies though?
Most of them. So you got Texas Chainsaw 2, 3, whatever. A lot of the ones that have been done are kind of remakes. So like the story is kind of the same.
Yeah, that's why I don't really, because I've tried watching them, but then I'm thinking if they're basically
no, but they are different. I know you're probably thinking what, but what I'm saying is it's not like it follows on. It's not like with Halloween where it follows on from one another, or even fucking Terrifier. It's a very basic storyline. He's just a fucked up individual. Who gets treated like shit by his family, because he's always shouting, he's always getting shouted at by him. Yeah, like nothing scares obviously Leatherface, like his victims. He basically does what he's told to do.
Yeah.
So he'll kill his victims, but if he gets shouted at by his family, he kind of cowers to him. He sort of, that's almost like a weakness to him, I suppose, because he kind of acts very differently around them.
Yeah.
He just wants to please them.
Yeah.
That's what it seems. But yeah, they're different, but I know that sounds really weird, but I would definitely recommend watching them all.
I watched one of them where they...
Two's weird.
I don't know. I don't know what one it was, but where they went to the... They was on this like bus, and then they went to the town.
Oh,
and it
that's
was, like,
the newer one.
Yeah, and then and it was like,
weird.
what's it called?
Nah, I liked it, but it was
a ghost town basically.
Yeah.
And the house that they had from the bank or whatever, they had, and then there was the old woman in there.
Yeah, that's the newer one. And
turns out she still had
completely different.
And then the old woman was getting all like agitated about it.
Yeah, see, that's where it is different, because that one, the newer one, that's still on. I think it's still on Netflix. That is a completely different version of Leatherface, because, like I said, most of the time he kills from his house. Yeah, in most of the in the
older ones,
and in 3D and things like that. Obviously there is some ones where he doesn't, but he's mainly known for killing inside his house in his little basement thing. But with that one, he actually is in the town killing. It is a complete, I do like it.
I watched up scenes, to
it's a weird take on it.
Not even that far in, I don't think.
It's a very weird take.
Do you know when what's it called, where they went to go to the hospital, and then obviously because obviously the nan or whoever she is, the old woman, she like has a panic attack or something like that, didn't she? So gotta go.
It's because he's living up there, isn't he, Leatherface?
Yeah, Leatherface and her and one of the friends that went to the town with her other friend.
Yeah,
I don't know their names. Friend of a friend of a friend.
Friend of a friend.
Went with them. Yeah, with the police, but then Leatherface like killed the police and everything, and they was just in the car.
Yeah, but technically, even though that isn't the original Texas Chainsaw house in that film, which was weird. That's what weirded me out, I think, because the house is known for the Texas Chainsaw. Even though technically he did go out and kill into the town, he had come from his house. Yeah, so it's still that. Yeah, do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I
do you get what I'm saying? It's a weird one.
I literally didn't get even 2 minutes into it.
Well, you should watch it. It is good, but it's got nothing on the other ones.
Yeah, I got up to literally the bit where he kills them all in the car. Yeah, and then I think he like takes off the old woman's face.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest. That isn't the best one to go on.
No, I always watch
the original,
the 3D one.
The 3D.
That's the one I always
the beginning,
watch.
Texas Chainsaw, the beginning. There's certain ones that you want to watch because some of them. This is what I mean about remake. When I say remake, I don't mean, you might have misunderstood what I meant. They do take a lot of what happened in the other films and do it, but they also change a hell of a lot. Yeah. And it makes it almost like, well, that's not Leatherface. No. That's the kind of vibe I got with the newer one. I liked it, but not for it being Texas Chainsaw. Yeah. If it was a separate horror.
Yeah, that's what I tried watching it. I was like, oh, I haven't seen that one. And I got into up to that bit and I was like,
yeah, very fucking weird take on it. So yeah, with his physical strength, he's really powerful, capable of overpowering victims and enduring significant injuries. I think he's quite a tank, really, when you think about it. So this is quite an important one. He's got quite high mobility, so he's able to move swiftly. So even though he's not like fast as such, he doesn't obviously bolt across the room. He's able to move swiftly, like his weapon. Yeah. So he uses the chainsaw in kind of swiftly with his environment, and he chases the victim, so he just swing it around, and he's like, that's fucking creates fear because he's swinging this chainsaw around, catching victims with it. So he's got high mobility regarding that, so that's one of his strengths. Also, I'd say another strength would be because of the weapon he uses. Obviously a chainsaw can inflict a lot of damage. Well, I know a knife can, but that can literally dismember someone like that. Yeah. So that is also a strength, I would say, and he knows his chainsaw well.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's like he relies on it kind of thing. He's also described here as ruthless, so he doesn't have any mercy on his victims, and it just makes him more frightening because there is no kind of like, I know most killers don't, but he literally, it's like there's nothing going on in his brain.
Yeah.
I think because he actually has something wrong with him. I think that's the point. I think he's like, I can't use the word, but they call him it. It's not me calling him it.
Yeah.
They call him it in the film. So then the family use that to their advantage because he's vulnerable. So he's like, he's got no emotion.
Yeah.
He just literally go and kill.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So the ruthlessness makes it's a strength really, because he literally don't give a fuck who he's killing. He don't have to stop and think about his kills. He just does it. So some of the weaknesses. Now this is a really big one. Predictable movements. I would totally agree with that. So whilst he is mobile, his actions can be somewhat predictable, which obviously can mean that the victim can outsmart his moves. Yeah, do you get what I mean? So like people can go against his strategies because, for example, you know he's coming because he don't give a fuck. He revs his chainsaw up and people can hear him from a mile off. So it's not like he stalks and he's careful with how he attacks a victim. He literally goes outright, starts his chainsaw up, and he's fucking bolting after him. Well, he's sort of like, he has a bit of a limp going on, doesn't he? Sort of thing, don't you think?
Yeah.
So why are you looking at me like that? It's because I've done the movement. No one can see me. That's the really funny thing. Only you. Then going to his other weakness, which we've briefly mentioned anyway, is the slow movement. So compared to some killers, I know most killers don't particularly bolt to their victim, do they? They don't like literally do a fucking marathon trying to get their victim.
So
but
look at Michael Myers walks.
He just fucking walks, but he still manages to get him. I don't know how. Leatherface is slower in certain situations, so I wouldn't say he has like a complete way that he is. Sometimes he'll have a little run with his little limp in there. He never obviously walks. We never see him walking like Michael Myers does. It's like a kind of average speed in it, Leatherface. So another one as well is in regards to his weapon of choice. So using the chainsaw can make him more vulnerable in his stealth tactics. Like I was saying, he can't be quiet, obviously. And also using doors effectively because he's got something in his hand.
Yeah.
As opposed to having a little knife in your hand. He's got this big ass chainsaw. So like trying to be quick opening doors to get to someone, that could also weaken him because it gives them more chance to get away.
Chainsaw the door down,
which he does most of the time. Wouldn't you imagine that? Just him seeing him fucking opening the door. But what I mean is, if he needed to get into anywhere quickly, he's got a chainsaw in his hand. Yeah. So most of the time, he does just chow through it with it.
Yeah.
I just had an image of Leatherface opening the door with his hand, just turning the knob.
Yeah, he like stops and opens it slowly. Or open it, and then he carries on running.
Yeah, it's just an example. I'm not saying that's what he does. Like he does cut through things, but it's just excessive, isn't it? Having a big chainsaw in your hand as opposed to a little knife. That could be seen as a weakness, I suppose. And he also
it breaks down.
Yeah, exactly. And he also depends on the chainsaw. So he only really kills with that. So obviously, if he takes him down to the basement, like in 3D. And the beginning as well. If he takes him down to the basement that he's got, like his little lair, obviously he hangs them on the big old hooks. He'll cut their fingers off. There's things they do, but he always goes back to that chainsaw. Yeah, that is his weapon of choice. So not being able to have access to it, or like you said, if it was broken in any way, that
if it like runs out.
Yeah, exactly. That could kind of dampen him as a killer. Because that's what he relies on, sort of thing. So yeah, that is Leatherface. I love Leatherface though. I really do. I think the way he looks, the story behind it, it is fucking freaky, innit? Like,
and he wears a tie.
Did you just say Annie wears a tie? What the fuck has that got to do with it?
Because most killers look scruffy.
What?
So he's
Right, Freddy Krueger wears a fucking green and red stripy jumper. Looks like he's got it from fucking George at Asda. Michael Myers has a boiler suit on. He's a geezer. All right. Chucky has got dungarees on. Ghostface has a cloak on. Sexy man. Art the Clown is in a clown outfit.
Yeah.
What's
because
I don't get you.
Because Leatherface looks like he's going to bloody a meeting, but with a mask on.
He's going to his 9-to-5 job.
And he's all done up with his tie and everything. Geese.
You've ruined that for me now.
It's like he's going to his office job with a mask on.
Going for an interview.
Yeah.
I'm done with this killing now. What do you bring to the table? Well, I can cut people's heads off if you want me to. I can wear their face. Would you like me to do that? You funny fucker. It's just the way you said it. He wears a tie.
Yeah, what killer wears a tie? A smart one.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on to my man Michael Myers. We love Michael, don't we?
My guy.
My guy. His strengths include his immense physical power, as we all know, incredible durability and stealth tactics. He has superhuman strength and endurance, capable of inflicting serious damage and withstanding substantial injuries. He also uses his stealth to his advantage. I think that's what he's most known for, because he kind of just like, you know what I mean? Just hangs back a little bit, doesn't he, before he does his kills, often appearing at his victims' most vulnerable moments. However, Michael also has weaknesses, including a tendency to be emotionally driven and reliant on his mask, as we know.
Oh, my shoe fell off.
What? Your shoe fell off?
Yeah.
He does proper rely on that mask, and it's very obvious in the films, because as soon as someone takes it...
It was like his emotional support blanket.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. It's like as soon as someone takes it, he don't care what he's doing. He stops what he's doing and he's literally just following the mask. He's not following the person to kill him as such. That's how it seems anyway. Yeah. It's like he just wants his mask back. What the fuck are you doing? Fair enough. Also, his rage and fixation on Laurie Strode. Rage. For example, it can make him more vulnerable when she uses his emotional vulnerabilities against him. And like I would say that because of his fixation over Laurie Strode, that is a weakness, because obviously he's never got to kill Laurie.
Yeah.
He's kind of, I know the granddaughter obviously got away from him. That's all right. Just smack my bed with your foot. I know the granddaughter obviously survived Michael Myers. What's her name? Alison.
Yeah.
Is it Alison?
So it begins with an A.
That's helpful. Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? Obviously she survived Michael Myers, but it's a different kind of thing with Laurie, because obviously it goes back so many years.
Yeah.
There's so much history between her and Michael.
Yeah.
And she is literally the only person that has got away from pretty much day dot.
Yeah.
So I think that can be a weakness for him as well, because it's like you don't like it, innit?
Yeah.
You wouldn't know, would you? You'd be fuming. It's like, it is like cat and mouse, isn't it?
Yeah.
But obviously we know that one of Michael's strengths is that he's mega strong, because he's superhuman. But I was watching the other day Halloween Ends, because that's actually really grown on me. It's not that I didn't like it when it come out. I was just it wasn't what I expected.
Yeah.
But the more I've watched it, the more I understand it.
It makes sense.
It makes sense, and it makes sense as to why they chose the story they did with it, because it was coming to an end.
Yeah.
It had to go that way kind of thing. But there's one scene, and it's right towards the end. It's where like Laurie and Honey said fucking Jamie then. That's fucking Laurie's real name. Laurie and Michael have like a showdown, a little dance off. She manages to literally pin him down to a table. I didn't understand that, because he's got like superhuman strength. So how the fuck is she getting on top of him and riding him like Seabiscuit? Riding my pony. My saddle is waiting. Sorry. Bit of Magic Mike. No, but it's weird though, because not unless
Michael.
Oh yeah, Magic Mike. Imagine him as Magic Mike. Michael Myers. That's the thought for everyone. It's just weird. I think maybe that's the point, because Laurie, as much as she's like tactical and she's got great strategies and she outsmarts Michael, she's never been physically stronger than him. So I think maybe that's why they've added it at the end. Maybe it's not that at all. If anyone knows any input, let me know. But yeah, I just found that very weird that she was able to all of a sudden pin him to the fucking table.
He I forgot. Wait.
Was that your bit of input for the podcast?
No, wait a minute.
Wait a damn minute.
What's the name?
Who?
What's the
Laurie.
Laurie.
You really struggled to say that, didn't you? You normally call her Lauren. Yeah, you know Lauren.
Right.
Yeah.
She's his weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if like they're having like a battle, right?
A what?
A battle.
Oh, a battle. I thought it was a bow. I was like, what?
No, a battle.
Yeah.
A battle.
With a double T.
And she's Michael's like weakness. Yeah. Do you reckon that's how she can like get on top of him?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Maybe that actually makes him physically weak.
What, because she's fighting back?
Yeah.
There is literally so many, like, not theories, but so many, like, things behind the story of Michael and Laurie. So I would never want to, like, say for sure what I...
Yeah.
Like, I'll say what I think.
Yeah.
What? I'll say what I think on the situation.
Yeah.
It may not be right, but I think so many people have so many ideas around it.
Yeah.
To me, probably, yeah, I would say so. I think also because of it being the end.
Yeah.
It
like,
just...
I've given up now.
He's like, fucking just take me, I've had enough. Just fucking take me off this world. But yeah, so that was weird. But obviously he has got superhuman strength. He just didn't have it a lot towards the end of Halloween Ends. Obviously he was weaker in that film. I think that's because I didn't know why you didn't see so much. Sorry, I know this isn't a Halloween Ends podcast, but
people were saying that obviously that Halloween Ends.
Do you want to put the mic near your mouth? You're holding it by your ear at the minute.
I'm scratching my lip.
Oh, okay.
I'm scratching my dash.
Oh.
Anyway.
Fucking spit it out. I ain't finished.
On TikTok, yeah.
Yeah.
I follow these people that are like mad obsessed with Halloween, right?
Yeah.
And they were saying, that with all like the bullet like shots and stabs and everything that he's taken,
and he's missing his fingers.
Yeah. That like they've grown like infected and stuff over time, because he's definitely gonna sort that out after when he signs kills. No, absolutely not. He's just gonna leave it. Yeah.
Is this a theory?
Right. Yeah, not like based on like true facts.
Yeah.
So, but with like Michael, because he's been shot like 1,000 trillion times and then like been stabbed and stuff.
Yeah.
Over time, because I highly doubt that he's gonna go to the bloody hospital and get it sorted out, is he?
Stake it out.
No, absolutely not. So over time, apparently, like he will like grow in like infections and stuff that makes him weaker.
What? So like every time he's shot on that, he's weaker and weaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he has to kill. To get
no,
stronger,
not that. As in like with not him actually. Because when he shoots someone, they drop dead. Yeah. But with him, he doesn't, because obviously he's like supernatural, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But over time, those wounds will like get infected or whatnot.
Yeah.
So that internally will affect him, and that makes him grow a bit weaker. That's what people were saying,
theory.
like
yeah,
theory
that would
wise.
make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he is technically human still.
Yeah, he is human, but he's just superhuman.
Yeah, superhuman.
He's superhuman.
But yeah, that is the theory that I keep seeing.
Yeah,
that's why he's grown weaker.
I think that would factor into it.
Yeah,
100%. But it's just weird. Like for me, like with Halloween Ends, I didn't understand why he wasn't doing as many kills. I was thinking, why the fuck was he not doing these kills?
Yeah.
Why is it this Corey? Because I didn't understand why they'd introduced a new character at the end of a franchise. I found that really weird. But the more I've watched it, the more it does make sense, because obviously Michael couldn't. I'm going to assume Michael couldn't kill at first.
Yeah.
Because he was in like that. I want to say it's a cave. I don't know if it's a cave. It's like the thing that's it's not underground. It's like a tunnel, I think it is. He was in their cave. Fucking cave. It's a fucking cave, man. It's a tunnel, isn't it?
Yeah.
He was in this tunnel, right? Wasn't doing any kills. And I was thinking,
Just
what?
chilling, man.
Yeah, but he wasn't. And I was thinking, well, when is Michael going to appear then? Because what the fuck? This is like Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, where is he? Why is Corey doing all this weird shit? But it actually made sense, because obviously he needed to get stronger to go and do these kills, because obviously on one scene Corey brings, I think it's like Alison's ex-boyfriend, I'm pretty sure, lets obviously Michael stab him, like Corey's holding him and Michael's stabbing him, which then obviously makes him stronger. So that makes sense now, but at the time I was thinking, what the fuck?
Yeah, but when Michael first saw Corey, did you say?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just kill him right there and then?
Well, didn't he hit him? Because I think he understood that. I don't know. I'm still sort of looking into that kind of aspect of it, because
surely if you want to try and gain strength and stuff to go and kill again,
I think
you would kill anyone in sight.
No, but right? I don't think. I think with him, like, let's Google it.
I don't know.
I don't know, because I never knew the solid answer, or I kind of do, but I don't know how to word it. Why didn't Michael? I think it's because he knew that Corey could help him get stronger. Because obviously, I think Michael. Why didn't Michael kill Corey? Fuck off.
Yeah, but how can he acknowledge that though? Because he don't speak.
No, but obviously Corey he did have like sort of creepy vibes anyway, that Corey, didn't he? In Halloween Ends, Michael Myers initially spares Corey Cunningham because he finds Corey useful, seeing him as a tool to bring more victims, which obviously would make Michael stronger. Michael is also known to be in a weaker state at the start of the movie, potentially making it easier for him to manipulate or work with someone, full stop. Later, Michael seems to view Corey as a potential successor or even a companion as they go on a killing spree together. However, Michael eventually kills Corey after he steals Michael's mask. He was fuming. He was like, oh, motherfucker, you stole my mask. He literally was raging, suggesting a sense of betrayal. But there you go, because he was like, well, no, that's my mask.
Yeah.
I think it's basic, because when I was watching it today, it was basically like, know your fucking place. You're not Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You're a tool to me.
Yeah.
You're helping me get stronger. That's all I need you for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then obviously Corey kills himself, but then when Michael goes to pick the knife up, I'm pretty sure, and then Corey like lunges out at him, so then Michael kills him. He was still alive somehow. So it's just basically to assist him in getting.
But that would be one boring thing though. That'd be one boring sidekick though, because you can't speak to Michael. Michael don't speak. Do you know what I mean? It would be a very silent thing to do.
Doesn't even really use body language either, does he?
No.
Just like a fucking.
Hold on. You right, Michael?
No one can see you.
No, you can see me. Though.
Yeah, I know.
You right, Michael?
What adds the fucking.
Yeah, but it's like, who do you want me to kill then, Michael?
About him though, he's just a mystery. He's a mystery man.
Well, I can't kill him if you don't know who I'm killing. No, he just
I don't think Michael really gives a fuck who he kills. He just wants to fucking kill, doesn't he?
Communication.
Yeah, so it says Michael sees Corey as a means to an end, using him to help him find and kill others. As well, it was probably because Michael knew that was his end goal, was to hunt down obviously Laurie and the granddaughter. So in order to do that, he needed to refuel himself and become stronger by killing. But he couldn't physically go out and do it because he was too weak. That makes sense. But that's why I was so fuming when I was watching it. But now that I'd say since it come out, I've always loved Halloween, but since it's come out, I've like kind of really looked into it all. Yeah. And it wasn't until I understood it and then I rewatched it, I was like, right, okay, fair enough. I thought it was just a shit film.
Cool, though, what would be really cool though, if like with the last one, if there was literally like the ending, they made him like say a line.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't like that. Don't do me like that. Nah. No, Michael don't speak.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing, that it would have been cool if, like, with his like a
yes,
lie.
but look how many films,
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the last one. I think it probably is.
Yeah.
But look how many, we got that aftermath thing coming out, but I don't really know a lot about that. It's pretty much the last one, yeah? But how do you know in 20 years' time that another one's not going to come out, and then they've spoiled it because Michael spoke? And it kind of adds to that eerie feel, like Michael has not spoke.
Yeah.
But all they've ever wanted
can go on and on and on.
I do.
Because then it's just going to become a repetitive thing.
Yeah, but it isn't, because every film's different.
I want to kill her, but then I can't kill her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's a very simple plot, even though there's a lot of twists and turns in it. And like, I think the actual backstory behind it's quite complex. But in terms of when you actually watch it, it's pretty straightforward. He's just an absolute fucking nutcase going around killing people.
Yeah, but his end goal is
a horror lover's dream. Well, not dream. That's a very weird word. No, but like every horror lover loves a film like that. Yeah,
but what I'm saying is his end goal.
Yeah.
He can't reach his end goal. He never does.
Well, we don't know that, do we? In 20 years, well, to be fair, Laura Strode will probably be by then. Our girl Jamie. I didn't understand why they added that Corey guy in, but now I do. Anyway, let me carry on with his strengths, because I think we don't need to do a Halloween Ends podcast. Just fucking spoke about most. No, we haven't really. There's still a lot to say on Halloween. I reckon that would be a good 3 hours long. So obviously, like we said, he's got stealth and hunting skills, so he stalks them and utilises the environment to his advantage, often appearing in unexpected places, as we said. And he's also like relentless in his pursuit of his target, so he's very, very driven by his urge to kill.
Yeah.
Like, he's very determined to Sheen, go away. Stop telling me to buy clothes. Yeah, he's very like, I've got a goal.
Yeah.
I need to get the job done.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And I think that stands out a lot from other killers with him. Obviously, as we have mentioned, that he does rely on his mask.
Yeah.
And that he will literally relentlessly chase after it until he has got it. Also says his vulnerability physically, even though he's incredibly durable, Michael is still a human and can be hurt by weapons and physical attacks. Obviously, you see like his fingers, when he gets his fingers shot off, it stays like that. It's not like he just regrows his fingers kind of thing. Although he can survive injuries that would normally be fatal, but he still gets damaged.
Yeah.
And it's probably, like you said, he probably does weaken him on the inside kind of thing.
Like over time, yeah.
Obviously, that hasn't been set in stone.
No.
But that would make sense, 100%. Yeah. In terms of weaknesses, I don't think there is many, like we've said. I think it is literally just... I don't know though, because
yeah, but no matter.
The only thing I never understood is when they say about Judith, you know, when the other doctor, the newer doctor, says to the granddaughter, "Oh, did he say Judith?" And then we mentioned that last week, and then he starts waking up. I don't know if that makes him stronger as well when he hears the name. Wake up call, literally. Because I wouldn't say it's a weakness, but it's almost like when he hears the name, he's fuming. Yeah. Kind of thing. It gives it that kind of... I think that would be a strength, wouldn't it? Because it's almost like it gives him the rage. Yeah. So then he's fuming. We've spoken about these characters, killers, whatever you want to call them. If you know any more that we haven't said, do let us know, because it'd be interesting to know. Or if you've got any theories with their powers or their strengths and weaknesses, a bit like what Ruby was saying about Michael when getting damaged, obviously internally when he gets damaged, which would make him weaker, which literally makes sense. If you've got any other like input, let us know, because I'm always like up for discovering new things and theories. I love a theory when it comes to horror. I love sitting there being like, yeah, but no, that can't be like that, because that's like that. We do it all the time, don't we? Literally, it's ridiculous. Real. Now we are literally just going to be doing some rankings, some rankage. Rank it up. You know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. I'm trying to get out my notes. So we've done like 2 lots of rankings. We've done who we prefer as killers, just on a personal level. So that can include because of how they kill to a degree, because we have also done methods of killing, haven't we? Yeah. But we're on about how they look, how we prefer them, kind of thing. Before I do mine, I just want to explain something. With my ranking, it's really strange, because my franchises, like my top 5 in terms of slashers, my 3 would be Halloween, Scream, Terrifier. But on the actual killers, it's slightly different, which seems weird. But it's because with Ghostface, he isn't one killer. It's obviously people under a mask. So I wouldn't like to put him quite as high.
Yeah.
So we got Michael Myers is my first, and then Art the Clown, Ghostface, Leatherface, the Creeper, Freddy, Jason, Chucky. What is yours?
Mine is Art the Clown.
Why is your writing so big? Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Why is it so large?
I don't know.
Can you not see your normal text? Fucking hell, that's burning my eyes.
Because my normal text is small.
Mate, no, that ain't normal.
What?
That ain't normal. Wait, wait. I need to show you. Oh no, I don't know where it is.
What?
Look at mine.
Yeah.
Yours is fucking huge.
What does your text messages look like then?
The size of it. Why is it so big?
I think I have an iPhone though.
Obviously, I use my iPhone for my TikTok. There is fuck off. My writing on my iPhone is not that large. Or even on my iPad. That is like... Even on my iPad, I sound like a farmer.
Anyways, let me do my ranking.
Again, sorry, it just fucking blew my mind, that did.
Right, so I've got Art the Clown, Michael Myers, Ghostface, Leatherface, Freddy, Jason, Creeper, Chucky. I like how it's gone from using the full names to just one name in them.
Well, I was. I was addressing them properly.
No, I've only addressed 4 people on the top of my list, 4 named. Oh. And then the other 4 gets one named.
Who?
So I've got for Art the Clown, Michael Myers, Ghostface, Leatherface, Freddy, Jason, Creeper, Chucky.
Fucking weirdo. In terms of savageness and like their methods of killing,
I'm a savage.
Now I am quite don't sing that. It's fucking lockdown, that is. In terms of like
classy.
Oh, I got with me trousers. What the fuck?
You got skew. That's so sad, mate.
What?
I got skew.
It's not funny. I got skew. Yeah, it's a Liverpool accent. Well, I think it was. Sorry if you're from Liverpool. So in terms of methods of killing, mine is very weird actually because Michael Myers is quite low down, even though he's my fave. But it's because the reason being,
he's boring.
What did you just say?
I said he's boring.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's fucking mean, that.
Yeah, but going from Art the Clown...
Don't speak ill of the dead, alright? He's the dead man.
Okay.
He can't back. He's not here to defend himself.
Well, good thing is just a
How is he boring?
Because
what do you mean by that, then?
No, I meant as in his method of killing. Okay, knife, wow.
Well, I wouldn't say it's boring, would I?
Walking around.
That's fucking bang out.
Slow motion.
No, he has a very similar...
And then you got Art the Clown over it, like a psychopath going...
I'm so sorry for your fucking ears.
You get what I mean?
I don't know what the fuck is
Art the Clown hangs people upside down and you know, put a knife through their whole body.
But Michael...
And then he grabs people's faces and gets them off and wears their boobs.
Gets them off? Pardon?
No.
What do you mean by that?
He like tears off their face and wears it. He took Santa Claus's face, pretty much.
Right, I know.
And that old woman's boobs. The pole down someone's throat and put rats down there, you know? Don't see Michael doing anything like that, do you?
Right. But with Michael Myers, he may use the same kind of methods, but he also does very creative kills. Look, when he comes behind the woman who's looking out the blinds and he stabs her. Well, that's fucking savage. That is absolute savageness. Savageness. I don't know.
Boring.
No, you're out of order. Don't slag my man off. Right, I agree.
Have you at the bottom then?
No, he's not at the bottom. Right, Art the Clown, fair fucking play. He's got some creative kills. He's actually at the top of my list, Art the Clown. Michael is lower down.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
If he's so right. Why is he at the bottom?
Because I'm on about the weapons they use as well.
Yeah.
Michael only really uses his knife and his hands.
Exactly, it's boring.
Yeah, but that's not
no
boring.
Imagination.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he can't have creative kills because he has many creative kills. Look at when he's in the toilet and he's fucking them up and he drops the fucking shit over the toilet door and yeah. Don't slag my man off, all right? We're gonna have to do like a podcast of us having a debate over Art and Michael. Because Art the Clown is my favourite in terms of methods and creativity of killing. Then I'd say it's Leatherface, because he's just savage. He's got a chainsaw, for fuck's sake, and he's chasing people around with it. And then I'd say the Creeper, because he literally can fly and drop in at any point. You know what I mean? I am re-looking at my list now, though. I've put Freddy and then Michael, but I don't know if I'd swap that round. Yeah, I'm swapping that round. I'd say, I don't know, because looking at it, Freddy...
Yeah, but Freddy can manipulate people from his dreams, man.
Yeah, but I'm on about creativity and methods as well. It's not just, obviously, Freddy is savage, but when the more I'm...
from the bathtub.
Yeah, but the more I'm sitting on it, the more I'm thinking, look at some of them kills that Michael does. If you actually sat and think of the newer ones, yeah. 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 There is some proper savagey scenes in that. Savagey, I'm making ones up now. Oh, no, I'd put Freddy even lower, actually. I would say Art the Clown, Leatherface, the Creeper, Michael, Ghostface, Freddy, Jason, Chucky. Now that I've actually sat and thought about it. So I didn't obviously think about that very hard. Because I wouldn't put Freddy above Michael for the kills. I'm going on the newer ones, though, as well, not just the old Halloween. The old Halloweens, they're a bit more straightforward. I get what you mean by that.
Yeah.
But in the newer ones, when you really sit and think about it, there is a lot of... Am I boring, yeah?
No.
In the yawning.
Oh.
So you're still fucking everything then, so what you have for breakfast.
I'm just a tired gal.
What? What does that even mean?
I'm just tired girl.
Okay. What's your rankings for that anyway?
I had Art the Clown, Leatherface, Creeper, Freddy, Michael, Jason, Chucky.
What about Ghostface?
Oh, I didn't rank Ghostface.
What?
Sorry.
So where would you put Ghostface then? Fucking idiot. What was that noise?
It is my mouth.
Right, you have got to remember, some people listening to this with headphones in. They don't want to hear you making weird ass noises with your mouth.
I think at the start of this podcast, I think they know how to turn down the headphones.
Yeah, we might have to start putting a bit of a pre-warning in.
I don't know where I'd put them.
Oh,
I don't know. I think I'll put him in between the Creeper and Freddy. So Art, Leatherface, Creeper, Ghostface, Freddy, Michael, Jason, Chucky.
Yeah. Because I think with like Ghostface and Michael, even though Ghostface is different people, I get that, but we were saying this earlier, like each Ghostface still has similar things that they do. When you actually really sit and think about and try and imagine some of them kill scenes with Michael and Ghostface, there is some really creative kills in there.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would be fair to put him right down. The only reason I love Art the Clown, obviously, but the only reason he is at the top of my list on this one is because, like you said,
he will use anything.
He don't give a fuck, does he? He will literally make this. It's almost like he improvises his kills. Yeah. Whereas with the others, they're kind of more thought out. They have a basic kind of not routine, but like a basic thing, standard thing that they'll do.
Whereas in everyone, he does something different.
Yeah. So I get you on that, and I completely agree. But I just don't think it would be that fair to put Michael that low down, and that's not because.
And with Art, he actually, because I think because he is a mime as well, he's got like emphasizes like
cap cut.
He's got like emphasizes expressions a bit instead of keeping it inside of his head. So I think that makes it more funnier with his kills as well. Yeah, because he'll be like throwing bleach and salt over someone and laugh about it.
Yeah,
which laughter isn't actually out loud. It's like mimed. Which
we said he had to do in the Terrified podcast because of that level of gore that's in them films. Yeah, they have to try and dampen that down a little bit with some comedy. I think because it's very clever the way Damien Lowndes done it. Actually,
it couldn't be a mime and not do like funny things. You know?
Well, he's a mime clown. What is he? He's a mime, isn't he?
He's a mime. Yeah,
well, he's in a clown outfit though.
Yeah, but he's dressed in white and black, which
but a mime wears stripy.
Yeah, I know.
Tops, don't they?
But I think they tried to do it as
combination.
So he's dressed up as a clown to make it more funnier.
Yeah,
but he's dressed in mime colours and he acts like a mime. to give the audience like the laughter
Yeah.
of his actions, but obviously it makes him more creepier because he can't do it out loud. No, he's got a
Rube, don't. That looks like you're doing something very weird to my microphone. You're making me feel a bit ill. That's very weird.
but you know.
And I just saw the back of your throat.
You have to look in the back of my throat.
So yeah, that's our rankings anyway. We'll do another, I think we've said this, maybe, I don't know. We'll do another one soon, in a couple of weeks, about, like, obviously The Strangers is really popular in the horror world. People love that. I love them films. And also, trying to think of the other one. The Killer from My Bloody Valentine. We'll do things like that as well. We wanted to do the ones that everyone thinks of.
Yeah.
And I know we haven't mentioned, like, certain horror, because it's not just slashers, it's mainly slashers we've done today, but it's also killers as well. And I know
the only one we've added was
a creeper,
yeah,
but obviously I know Billy the Puppet and things like that is an iconic killer, like Saw and that, but
we're mainly doing like where they use weapons
talking
and
proper
stuff.
iconic, like what everyone thinks of, how far back some of them films go. Like Jason goes back to the 80s, Michael does, like, go back way in time. We're like talking about the ones that kind of bring nostalgia, and also the newer ones like the clown and stuff, but it's also the ones that are our fave as well, really, innit? Fuck you all. We don't care about what you want. So that is it this week. I think we've covered most of it. If there is anything you want to see us do, let us know, and we'll be more than happy to do so. Next week we are doing, this week coming, we are doing my horror collection, and what we've decided to do is do half this week and speak about it, so we can speak a bit more in depth.
Yeah.
So we haven't got to rush through it all, and then do the other half the following week, and then the week after that we're doing like tips and places to get like horror stuff from, and how to start building a collection, and any tips that I've got, because I've been collecting about 4 years now, so I've learned, I've made mistakes. Do you know what I mean? There's still
everybody
things.
Makes mistakes.
Everybody has those days.
The phone one to get his input.
So yeah, that's what I'm quite excited, because it'll be nice, as much as I love talking about horror characters and films and things like that. It's fuck off. It's really Shein, CapCut. Fuck off. It says Daily News. See what just landed on Shein. Last chance to save big. Your Shein coupons will be expiring. Don't wait.
Yeah, I've got 11 things in my Shein basket, and it's coming to 106 quid.
It's gone up on there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only got 6.
Robin
I've only got 11 things in my basket. I'm supposed to clown of that thing. Jeez.
It's gone right up, innit? To be honest, I don't think it's far off, like,
might as well just shop in bloody Zara.
Yeah, I don't think it's far off the prices on, like, Zara and New Look, though. Anyway, we're not talking about clothes. We're talking about horror.
This isn't a fashion podcast.
No. So yeah, it'd be really nice, like we were saying, because it is nice to kind of break it up. What will be happening, we're going to try to do it like this. I don't want to set it in stone and promise, but we're going to try to do it so Ruby's holding things up, and then me and her are just speaking about the items, and then moving on to the next thing. I think it's good to split it, because I wouldn't want to rush through it. There's magazines. I've got a whole magazine rack of some really great comics and horror magazines. Got some Fangorias on there, all sorts of things. And then we've got my physical media, so all my videos. I've got literally a bunch of horror DVDs,
gonna do,
but I don't think I'm going to show them.
Is we will like do like a show her like magazine rack, but then we will only show up close the ones that are more rare to find, like me holding it and showing you all. And same with like the physical media. She'll show you. You would put like show like the video of it, and then I'll show the ones that are more rare to find and stuff. Yeah,
if you obviously, I know I have got quite a few physical media lovers that follow me. If there is anyone that wants us to do the DVDs, let us know, because I've got literally a bunch in the corner of my horror collection, but I don't want to do it if no one wants to see them. So if that's something you want to see, let us know. If not, we won't. We'll leave it for now. Then it's just going to be, I think it's just going to be nice and different, innit? Just to mix it up a little bit. But yeah, that is it for us this week. Thank you for putting up with us yet again. And you're lucky. So lucky to have us. No one can see me, but I'm doing a creep smile. Look like the one from the film, Smile. Oh, you're funny. Also, sorry about your ears, because, you know, Ruby can't help herself. And we will speak to you next week, and we love you all lots, and thank you for supporting us. Don't forget to subscribe, and also in the comment section, not the comment section, in the description box, there is all our, not our links, what the fuck am I talking about, is all our details of our social medias. So go
details.
Is that the Grinch? Yeah. So make sure you're going to follow us on Insta and TikTok, and we love you lots. Bye.